Well then, welcome. Well, as you can see, we are, well, streaming on the weekend. Why? Because I want to play a bit of Minecraft. And I thought, why not? So yeah, that's why we are here. And playing some vanilla server Minecraft. I could play on the SMP, but I thought, well, I have quite low energy because it's in the morning. And I just wanted to play and relax. So yeah. So yeah, now then we can start the game. If you're wondering, I am in a hole because, just in case, I didn't want any monsters to spawn. Oh. Alright, we're in danger. This is, it's sleep. So yeah. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, now we have the audio. Now checking the stream, and yeah. Everything looks alright. So yeah, well, the schedule is already on my YouTube, but I forgot to put it on, well, the schedule for next week on my, on Twitter. I have to do that later. I just need to remember it. Yeah. I am putting those things away. Because, well, we are going deep mining again. Let's see. Yeah, I think we have everything. Because we need copper, if you're wondering. So yeah, this today is quite a relaxing one. I'm just streaming because, well, I want to stream and talk and just do some stuff. Let's see. I remember there was copper there, somewhere, along the stairs. Or maybe I already took it. I have no idea. Oh, there. There it is. So yeah, we are just playing around. Well, where did I will just talk? Well, hello, Kiwi. Well, I don't really know if it's morning for you, but good morning or good day. But yeah, I hope you had a nice weekend. Well, or still have a nice weekend because it's still the weekend. So yeah. Well, as you can see, I decided, well, to stream on, well, today. Just a relaxing stream and, well, continue Minecrafting. So yeah. Well, I don't really know if you have, it's 5 PM, so still day, I see. Well, then good day to you then. So yeah. Well, I don't know if you have seen on my YouTube, but next week we will be playing, well, we'll be trying out, when winds, wait. I will, just have to see what the name was again. Let's see. Just a minute. Ah, when winds meet, that was the name. Yeah, that name is something that I'm still haven't remembered. So yeah, are you doing well? Well, I'm doing great. Well, if I had to say, it's quite, well, it's 10 AM for me, so it's quite in the morning. But yeah, I'm doing great. Let's go. When winds meet, hype. Yeah. Well, I will try it out. It looks interesting, so yeah. I played on, I think it's Tuesday. So yeah. Maybe on Monday, but I have to see if I have time on Monday. So yeah. That's why I haven't really put anything there. Well, but as for Chaos Zero Nightmare, if I remember correctly, well, I don't think I will play that because, well, I downloaded the client for it and made an account, but honestly speaking, the account procedures for it quite annoyed me. So I decided, well, I didn't want to play the game anymore. I think I just don't like the stove client for it. So yeah. I don't think I will try Chaos Zero Nightmare. Well, and I have, well, at first I didn't recognize the name, but I have seen, well, on Twitter, the controversy about it. About the one blue-haired boy, about him being, him having more of a relationship with the girls than the main character. And apparently because of that, they have to change the story or something like this. And yeah. I didn't really know the name before. I've heard about the story about this, but didn't know the name. But after seeing the character, I remembered it. And I honestly well, it's a bit chaotic in that game, so didn't really want to try it then. Okay, all good. If it's not treating you right, then probably don't have to. Yeah. Well, honestly speaking, the main reason why is because I didn't like the stove client. I don't really know why, but it needed me to verificate that I'm me quite a lot of times. So I just didn't want to do it. Oh. So yeah, thank you for your understanding, yeah, Kiwi. So yeah, what will we play when wines meet? I've read the description of it and it's quite interesting. I think it was that this is a wuxia game. So that's quite interesting because, well, I do like the genre of it. So it's the first time that I have seen a game based off of the genre. Well, I have seen some of those games in Chinese, but... Well, I've seen Chinese games of that, but I haven't really seen a global one. So I'll try it. So yeah. I thought the story is going to be darker, but it's so slow I didn't like it. I see. Yeah, gacha games usually, well, they are quite slow. I have no problem with the blue boy controversy though. Yeah. I also found that controversy quite strange. That reminded me of another controversy about another Korean game that also had something similar going on, and yeah. I just thought that, well, it's quite strange that, well, just because one character has a relationship, or not really a relationship, but is close to the other girls, that it makes the player jealous. I don't really understand that. So yeah. Well, I am not really the type to get attached to characters, so maybe that's why I don't understand those kind of things. Yeah, and the main point is why I still like the game is that it's a card game. I see. Well, I didn't know that was a card game. And it has a roguelike. I see. Yeah. I can understand why the game is, well, popular and is playable then. Because a roguelike and card game is quite a unique concept and can be quite fun. So yeah. Well, if it's... Well, now that I think about it, I haven't really played Do It Night Abyss for a while now. Well, after the first story arc, I decided to take a break from it. So yeah. Well, the story arc is... yeah. Where Wines Meet will be an MMO, so you can do solo explore. I see. So it's still fun, you don't have to meet people. I see. Well, I did play MMOs before, so that will be quite interesting. Because, well, the MMOs I previously played are mostly mostly they were kind of mobile games. Well, there's one MMO, I don't really know if it's an MMO, but I once played La Tale, if you know about it. It's quite an old game now. I think maybe 10 years already. But yeah. Dragon Roger? Nope, I haven't played Dragon Roger before. I don't know that one. Yeah, it's quite old. The only reason why I know about it is because, well, it's something my brother played. So that game is his childhood. And I started playing it because he played it, and the art style looked quite cute. So yeah, that's why I played it. Well, if you want, you can try the game, La Tale. I think it's an MMO because you do meet people, but you rarely see them because, well, not many people play it anymore. It was popular when he was younger though. yeah, it's just a normal game, like you have classes, you level up, and yeah. Well, as for story, I don't think there's a story. So I think that was an MMO. Well, as for other MMO games, I've mostly only played on the phone, and you just didn't know that they were MMOs. So it will be quite interesting when I play when Winds meet, because I haven't really played in a long time those kind of games. See, yeah. I do have the materials still for pickaxe. So the game is called Latale. Yeah, it's called like this. If you just Google it, you will most probably find it. I don't really know if it. Well. Thank you. Well, no problem. Well, if you want any game recommendations, I can try, but I might not know that many games. I don't really know if Latale is still online though. I think it's most probably still online. It's been quite, I think 2 years since I played Latale. But yeah, I did once grind it though. Oh, I shut down in June 2025. Really? I see. Well, that explains it, because I played it 1 year or 2 years ago and didn't know. Yeah, the viewers were, well, there weren't really many players playing it anymore. It's been a long journey though. Yeah, it's a quite old game. I remember, playing it when, not when I was little, but a few years back. Well, I only know about the game because my brother played it when he was little, and then he wanted to start playing it again after he became an adult. And yeah, that's why I know about the game. We now have enough for a diamond pickaxe. So I even didn't know that it shut down on June 2025. So that's news to me. Well, that explains why my brother was quite sad and wanted to play the game again. You heard about Reverse 1999, released a year ago? Yeah, I have played it, when the global version released, I've played the game. And then, I played it for 1 year, and I still have my account, so if I wanted to, I could always log into it again. But I have to say, I really like the character design and the vibe of it. So yeah, that's quite a great game. Okay, nice. Yeah. I have to say, it's been quite a long time. Well, maybe I will re-download it and log in again. It was quite a great game, but the grinding kind of got tired after a while. Well, and maybe it was because I then started my Pro Isekai phase again. I would say with Pro Isekai, it's something like I stop playing for a year, then start again, and every time like this. Don't have. I'm just saying, you know. I see. Well, if you want, you can try Reverse 1999. It does have a quite darker tone if you want darker games. Well, I'm not really not that far in the story now because I just played it for 1 year when it released. But if I remember correctly, there was a death scene and such. So, and I think the vibe of it is quite also vintage, or it kind of has the thing you would expect from not a scary game, but kind of eerie looking game kind of thing. So yeah, that's something. But yeah. Well, if I had to say, I've played most gacha games that are kind of anticipated or hyped. Well, mostly I just tried out. But yeah. I know the boss they make are the most twisted looking. Yeah. Yeah, this is why I remember it to be quite a game. Quite eerie looking, if I have to say. So yeah, the bosses, yeah, I remember some of them quite scary looking. And I have to see if I can, well, we are letting the mines be for a while and now we are looking for sugarcane. We need to make books. Let's see. There, the sugarcane. And a bottle. So yeah, I think Reverse 1999 was, well, I think I'm trying to remember, well, what kind of other gacha games there were, but now that I think about it, I think Honkai Star Rail was also released that year. Or maybe before that. I have no idea. But yeah, the schedule, well, I did it, I just forgot to post it on X, but yeah, I want to say about it is that, well, that's just the fixed days I will stream, but there will also be days where I will stream, but it's not a schedule. So yeah, I think it was during Wuwa came out. I see, so it was during the, yeah. Well, yeah, Wuthering Waves. I do want to re-download it again. I've been thinking about it. Well, because, well, they are new characters. Well, Wuthering Waves, I have to say, I really love the gameplay of it. This is why I always debate going back into it again. Playing it for a while and then stopping again. Yeah. Last time I played was in Hualong, by the way. I need to play that new place. Well, I haven't even reached that Hualong. Honestly speaking, the last time I played was when the, how should I say, this area that came out where everything was white, kind of snow-like and such. That was the last time I played. I need Rina Sita. I see. Oh no, I read the common one wrong. I need to play the new place and then just Rina Sita. Yeah. Well, I wonder what character this is because I haven't played in a long time. I see, that's area. That white place is with the Dragon Mountain? I think so. It was some kind of mountain and white area that was complete, that was new. There. This is the last time I played. It's been quite a long time. Well, if you want an exact date, it would be when the pink-haired Phoenix girl released. That was the time. Or the red-haired. And that's also around where I stopped playing. I see. Yeah, I have, well, I played it quite a lot on release, but after a while I didn't. The only reason why I came back and then went back when I stopped again was when, well, I think it was when Brandt released. And then after pulling him, I stopped again. So yeah, this, I think Wuwa is one of the gacha games that I played for a while and stopped it again and played for a while again. Well, there are just a few gacha games that I'm completely committed to. Well, one of them is Honkai Star Rail. And I think that's it. That's the only gacha game that I'm still up to date with. Well, I also want to play, well, there's also, well, a game that I'm not up to date with, CCC, Zenless Zero, but yeah, I don't think I can ever be, I just like playing it occasionally and then stopping it for a while. Well, thanks to that, I think, well, I have a lot of crystals saved up in CCC. I don't think I can even start it. Yeah, it is, well, quite long. There we now have all the obsidian. Is ECC worth it? Well, that depends on what you want, honestly speaking. If I had to say the one thing, if you want male characters, then good luck with that, because that will take quite a long time. If you like more female characters, then there'll be a lot of them. If you want, well, so body types, no idea. But yeah, CCC, it has similar animations to WoWA, so the gameplay style. So this is, it has quite satisfying gameplay with the dodging and the counter. And so yeah, character-wise, yeah. Is it Gooning game? Well, a lot of people say it is. So you can kind of expect, well, what kind of, well, things are happening. Well, but the story, it is an interesting story because it's, if I had to describe it, it's about two siblings and they have a teacher. They had a teacher, and that teacher was kind of framed to have done a great disaster that blowed up the entire city once, and they want to find out the truth, I think. And yeah, I think that was the kind of thing that's happening. Yeah, it's something like this, I think. I'm not far in the story. And I skipped a lot. So yeah. I think I should make a bucket. No worries, I got it. Well, that's great then. I'm not really the best at explaining, I realize. Every time I try to explain something, well, I'm slowly starting to realize I'm not the greatest at it. But yeah, CCC has their own charm, but yeah. Well, one of the great charms is that the NPCs, well, if you know about Honkai Star Rail and Genshin, you know how the NPCs look like. Well, in CCC, this is like this, that the NPCs do look really different. They all have their personalities and such. And yeah, that is one of the pros of it, if I had to say. Unlike Genshin, well, if the NPCs will kind of all look kind of the same kind of thing. But yeah. And in CCC, the animation is much more, if I had to say, well, much more alive, I would describe it. So yeah. And another, well, yeah. In Star Rail, don't even want to give the NPC an HD clothing, but that's interesting. Yeah. Honkai Star Rail, yeah, I remember the NPCs. Well, but some NPCs do have at least a bit of difference. For example, well, not really an example, but they are, well, I don't really have seen them in the game, but there are NPCs. For example, there's the old man, if you know about Xianzhou Alliance, the old grandpa of that girl. I think he's the, so NPCs with names, they all have, well, you could say they have, well, I remember I need letter, not General Huyan, yeah. He doesn't look like kind of an NPC. Well, he does have the NPC feeling, but doesn't have the well, is at least much more unique than the other NPCs you have ever seen, or I have ever seen. I thought they were planning to release him, but it's their weird thief for later. Yeah. I also thought that he would be maybe playable, but turns out he wasn't. Well, we got a letter. Well, he even when if you remember the special program of that version, he was one of the silhouettes. So yeah, I also thought he was maybe playable. Ah. Actually, Kratos looks interesting. You know, the guy from Miles Place, the old man. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, he also looks quite well. Yeah. Yeah, I will have to ban this bot. Yeah, Kratos also has quite a character arc, if I had to say. If I remember correctly, he was the one that wanted Mide to be king and everything like this. So he also has quite a unique look. Not too unique, but at least he kind of sticked out from all the NPCs. So that's something. Wait, I remember what I had to do. Yeah. And now we can finally make the enchanter. I think it's made like this. There. Well, we have a lot of things in the inventory. He gives the Galaga feeling, you know, like a 4-star, but no, not a chance. Well, it could be. So yeah. Yeah, I think Galaga is the only person with, well, kind of fun. Yeah. Well, he was the only one with a beard, if I remember correctly from the characters. Let's see. Well, you can see what kind of enchantment. Nope. Now that I think, well, I remember the Galaga story. I say, Galaga was quite a character. I didn't understand him. Well, not didn't understand him, but during the story quest, I didn't know if he was good, if he was evil, and something like this. Well, but I remember the screenshot of, well, him say, March asking him his age, and then he answered with saying he's 13. And many people thought, well, that he meant it in his real age is 13. That was quite funny. Well, it would have been funny if they committed to a younger looking, not looking, but a younger guy looking like 40s. The oldest looking 13-year-old. Yeah. That's why it was funny. Would have been interesting to see now that I think about it. So yeah, just thinking about the structure. Yeah. And there and the steps. Well, I wonder if they will ever do a character that is like extremely young, but just looks like really old. I think the only place that has ever done that may be JoJo. But yeah. I'm currently concentrating on this. Yeah, if you remember in JoJo, Jotaro, he definitely, yeah, doesn't look like a 15-year-old, if I had to say. Maybe this. Do you know Yakuza series, the MC called Kiryu? Yeah, I know the Yakuza series. In his 40s, he looks just in 20s, I see. Yeah, I have heard about the Yakuza series. It's quite a funny game apparently. So yeah. Well, I do know that, well, we have the reverse situation in, how should I say, in Genshin. Apparently the MC is something like 500 years old or something like this. I've heard it at least. If I have the chance to buy it, I like to watch it. I see. Yeah, if I were to, well, I have to see if it's in, well, Steam. If it is and is one day in a discount, I will try it. Wait. There. Again, no pressure, right? Yeah. Well, don't worry. I mostly play games that I want to play. If there is a game that I don't want to play, I will just say it. Well, the Yakuza games, I've heard quite a lot about them though. That there are a lot of funny scenes apparently. So yeah. Let's see. Like this and this. I'm currently figuring out why. The only serious thing about the game is the main story. Every single thing outside of the main quest is a joke. I see. Yeah, I haven't really heard much about the main story, but I do know about the jokes that happen in the Yakuza games. Something is... yeah. Yes, yeah. Well, I'm currently trying to figure out how to... the story is really good. I see. Well, then I have to see how to get into the Yakuza games then. Trying to figure out the angle of this. It's called Yakuza and Yakuza 0, but at the start of the game, he leaves the Yakuza the whole game. No, I see. Yeah. I think that's kind of like a story twist. So yeah, it will be interesting. Well, I will have to see when... well, I have to see about when to play it. Most of the games I play, well, I personally prefer to play free games for streams and afterwards think about it then. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really like how this looks, so maybe we have to remove it and put this instead. And definitely also think about it first. Yeah. Well, most importantly, I have to think about the order of playing it though. Well, I prefer mostly to play the first game or... well, I have to see if the stories are kind of connected. If they are connected, then we would have to start on the first game. If they're not connected, then I will start on the, whatever game I find first. So yeah. The story is indeed connected, and the first one is Yakuza 0. I see. Well, thanks, Yaki. Yeah, if we have time for it, then we will play it. I have to see about that. You can search it up if you are wondering it. Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwai, Kiwai 2, Yakuza 3, and so on. I see. Well, thanks for the info, Siaki. Well, I will have to look it up then. Well, I do have, I put it on list of game series that I one day want to play. Currently, I have one that is called the well, I currently only have one game in the list. That would be the Trails, if you know, the Trails series. Apparently they are all connected, so I want to play them, but at the same time kind of want, the Trails series is something. I saw Trails. Yeah, I think it's called Trails of and so on. If I remember correctly, you spelled it right. So yeah, it's written like this, Trails. I'm playing Trails in the Sky right now. I see. Yeah, I still have to figure out the timeline of Trails. Apparently, all the characters in the previous games are somehow connected to the newer ones. Because of that, I have to find out where to start off the Trails series. Apparently, it's a long journey. So yeah, this is something I'm currently trying to figure out. It is very long. Yeah. This is why I really haven't really started it also. But I want to play it. It sounds interesting. But the accessibility of the, I don't really know if all of them are on Steam and such. I just finished the first game called Legends of Heroes Trails in the Sky, first chapter. But they just make a remake, I see, called Trey in the Sky, the first chapter. I see. Well, then I have to look it up. On speak, I wanted to play the Trade series last year, but I was confused by the timeline. You have to well, if there's a remake, I have to see if I play the remake or play the first game, and so on. No problem. Yeah, definitely recommend it. I see. Well, thanks for the info, Siaki. So yeah. So it seems like Yakuza and Trails are now in my series I want to play, but I have to see. Or in my maybe playing thing. Now let's see. How do I make a like this? I have to say I'm really bad at making rooftops. I'm always improvising. And I should eat. Yeah. Well, we now have to go to the mines again for the copper. Well, not really the copper, but more diamonds. What you are doing looks nice. Thanks. Yeah, my kind of building style is I would just put everything together and see if it works. Well, most of the things I'm building, I do watch a lot of Minecraft videos, mostly Hermitcraft, and when I watch them, I kind of remember their kind of building style and just try it and kind of recreate it in my own style, kind of thing. Well, that's how I learned building, at least. Or that's my way of building currently. Because when I was little, I had, my building style was 4 blocks together, and that's it. Do you have Discord community or not yet? Well, I don't have that. Well, I think it will be quite a long time till I one day have a Discord community. Because I don't think, understandable, yeah. Maybe one day, but we'll have to see. But yeah. Well, the good thing is we found copper on the first try. Well, I think after we are, finally have built the mine shaft, we will, for the mining area, we'll start building the house too. Because I need a base. So yeah, if you're wondering what I will do in the server, I want to, first I will build a base. Then I will start learning redstone a bit. And then create farms. I've never really done anything with redstone. I remember I once played I started playing Minecraft with the mobile version that belonged to my brother and I just played on his phone. And yeah, I just kind of I knew about redstone but didn't know how to use that. And after seeing how many things you can do with redstone, I kind of want to learn it. But yeah, that will take a while. So yeah, even though originally this world should have been a hardcore world or a hardcore series, but I decided, well, if I want to be able to do something in Minecraft and not just dying, it had to be a normal world. So yeah. I've never played Minecraft, I will always avoid the game. Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, I haven't also really played Minecraft on the PC for many years. Or Minecraft in general. Because I only played it a little when I was little, and afterwards I stopped playing. And mostly just watched the YouTube videos. And yeah. The game itself is quite fun. You can have many game modes. Either you can go peaceful, then there would be nothing to attack you, and you can just play. Or you can just play, you can challenge yourself, go in hardcore and only have one life. Or have mobs and play it in hard. So yeah, Minecraft has a lot of versatility on what kind of play, how you play it. So yeah. Well, we kind of took all the copper. Now it's melted. So yeah, I quite like those calm games with, where you can do stuff. I also like playing farming games, but they are quite repetitive after a while. Well, but I have to continue playing, Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar now that I think about it. Yeah, I started, I kind of want the games I started to finish playing it. But this villager did kind of scare me a little. Or jump scared me, I would say. And we need wood, so I'll go chop some down. There. Well, I have noticed that I myself, I do like challenging games. I also like calm, cozy games. Yeah. I'm also not very good with scary games. I see. Yeah. I'm also not really good with it. The problem with scary games is that I get scared quite easily. Well, we have to bury the horse. I want it. I wonder if I can push it. I'm using my full concentration on it. Oh, I was the one that got pushed in instead. There are scary games. I do some of them I like watching, but I don't really like playing them. Well, I think the horse can have his freedom. Well, but after watching the scary games, for example, there's one scary game that I'm always up to date with, but I never want to play is Poppy's Playtime. I think it's called. That game, I really like the story of it. It's quite interesting. It's about, a previous employee going back to his workplace, a toy factory. And he got a letter, and the letter said that, the toy factory was also an orphanage for orphans or children. And it said that the children were still alive, so he went back. And when that happened, the factory got took over by the toys. All the previous employees were well, you can kind of imagine what happens if toys were to get, well, were to rebel and what happens to the humans. So yeah, these toys, the company had, the toy company had many dark secrets. For example, all there were living toys, and these living toys, they created them through, they all were once children, and they were, they were turned into toys. They were angry, and they rebelled. And yeah, every human, the player we play as was the only survivor of the toy, of the toy company, because he wasn't there at that day. He was, what should I say? I think he was on leave or was on break or something like this, and he wasn't there. And yeah, now sounds scary as heck. I remember losing my watching Chucky lol. I see. Yeah, the game itself is quite scary actually. You do see a lot of blood, and you are getting chased by the toys and attacked and so on. But the story was kind of too interesting, and I'm already too deep in, but that I can't stop watching it. So yeah. Wait, I want to turn it into coal. As for Chucky, well, I haven't really watched Chucky, the doll. I do remember it though, because I think, you could say, elementary school. One of my classmates had watched Chucky, and she got really scared of it. And this is the only reason why I remember it. So yeah. I think it's that one. The one with, it could be, wait. I think there were two murder dolls. One was Chucky, and the other one, I wonder if Chucky was the one with the murderer that somehow got turned into a doll, and he tormented a young boy, if I remember correctly. You remember your elementary school friends? Yeah, I do have, I remember them. So yeah, but it's quite a long time. And I moved places, so yeah. I don't have much contact or any contact, but I do remember them and their names and such. But yeah. I remember, that's most of my memories from that time. Well, elementary school was something else. Let's see. Yeah, we need more wood. So yeah, for Poppy Playtime, where there's only one chapter left for the main story, if I remember. It is set, so yeah, I have to be present for it. I'm already too deep in and want to know the mystery. Well, honestly speaking, we already know the mystery about the toy factory. Experimenting on children, turning them into toys and such. But yeah. I think Chucky is like the murder doll that a family bought them in. It's from a factory as well, but I don't think if it cured a child or anything like that, unless I forgot the main plot. Well, not really cured, but the doll wants to murder the boy and use him on a ritual to take over the boy's body, if I remember correctly. That was some kind of doll movie I watched. I don't know if it was Chucky though. And the little boy in the next movie got sent to a relative, I think. Maybe it is Chucky. Yeah, maybe. I have no memory though. But yeah. And then the doll also, somehow got revived and went after the boy. And so on. Yeah, that boy in that doll movie, it was quite a long running series, if I had to say. Because the doll somehow later on got a girlfriend, and then he had also a kid that is also a doll, and some stuff happens. Don't remember much though. I remember I felt sorry for the boy because the doll murdered his, I think his mother. He only had a mother, I think. And yeah. And then he murdered his relatives that took him in. And then, well, he got sent. Well, he didn't. Well, from the relatives, they did have a daughter. So she also became an orphan because of the doll. And yeah. That's all I remember from that movie. And now I think we have enough wood. So yeah, horror movies I'm also not really good with. The only horror movie I've watched was Happy Death Day 2. The only reason I watched it was because, well, a friend of mine had her birthday and she wanted to watch that movie. So this is why I watched it. But not much memory otherwise. Let's see. I watched a few horror movies actually, but all because my friends want me to be as a company. I see. Yeah, that's also, well, the only few times why I also watched horror movies. Let's see if there's something good. Nope. Yeah, horror movies I wouldn't, well, watch it by myself. I would be too scared for that. I'm thinking about what. Maybe the normal copper like this. And then the slag. Maybe, yeah, it's away. Well, but it looks good though, so let's keep it. Just one more copper and we have the roof. And there we have it. Wait, I placed it wrong. Yeah. Now only the floor and we are finally done with, well, the mine. I wish I can track back that one Korean movie where she had a phone call from herself from the future and her in the future is a killer. Let me try search it up. I see. Well, that really sounds interesting. The only kind of movie I've seen about the future, well, it wasn't a horror movie, but more like a heartwarming one. It was called Orange. It isn't a movie, but a series, and it's an anime. If I remember correctly, the girl received a letter from the future about a boy that she will meet in high school. And that boy was, you could say he's the main love interest. Well, I'm trying to, explain. The boy, this is a spoiler for the series. So yeah. The boy himself, he died. I don't really know if it was suicide, but he died in the future. And the girl and her other friends also received letters from themselves in the future, talking about the boy. And yeah, they all kind of, the future themselves kind of regretted it, not helping the boy that died. So they wanted, well, their past selves to help instead. And yeah. At the end, well, it was, well, the main girl got together with the boy. They saved the boy. And, well, then we got a glimpse of the past selves. And not the past self, but the future selves that sent the letter. I don't think it was explained how they sent the letters from the future, but they sent it, and well, how should I say? Well, it was something they said at the end about how the worlds, even though they saved him, the past most likely created a new future where the boy was alive. So they all looked, the future selves looked back at some kind of place they were, and just looked happy that, well, that the boy will have a future. So yeah, that was my badly explained what orange is. But yeah, it was a great watch, and I teared up at the end. I see I look into orange. Yeah, it's a great anime. From what I remember, at least. But yeah, it was, well, it has 13 episodes, if I remember correctly. Well, it was one of the few shoujo anime with an interesting plot. And now down we go. I need more stone. Well, it's been a while since I've watched Orange. I think few years back now. The movie I was searching is The Call. It's actually a call from another person from the past, which is also the counterpart of the MC. I see. Well, that sounds interesting. But I have to see if I will ever watch it, because not really great with horrors. Well, I don't really know why, but I'm, well, alright with playing horror games sometimes. But watching horror games, watching horror movies, well, I never really tried watching horror movies because, well, I thought, well, horror isn't really my stuff. But yeah, The Call sounds interesting. I'll later, well, look it up and see. Well, now that I think about it, Korean drama, movies and such, I never really, well, watched it. I don't remember any K-drama that I've really watched. Yeah, I don't think I have ever watched any K-drama. But yeah. Wait, there are the torches. Korean movies are full of passion, especially when they scream. I see. Yeah, I have never really watched, well, only one I've watched was Squid Game. That was the only Korean thing, movie or series I've ever watched. And the only reason why I watched it was because it was, well, would you even count well, that's an animation, so maybe not K-pop Demon Hunters. But yes, Squid Game is the only one with real actors that I've watched about in Korean shows. I'm not really the person to watch real life shows. Well, some of them. Well, I did watch a bit of Big Bang Theory. That was interesting. And well, I also watched a bit of Young Sheldon because that was also his past kind of, so it's interesting to see what happened to him and such on. But other TV shows, well, I mostly watched when I was younger, like Wizards of Waverly Place, Hannah Montana. Yeah, I watched those kind of things. I haven't... Well, there was one Chinese drama I've watched. I think it was called Comet Garden. I think. It was about a girl going to a university. It was kind of like the usual romance cliché story movie or series. A normal girl going to school, meeting a group of really handsome, rich boys. There was one that teased her and everything like this. And they always fought, and then they got together. And yeah. I watched my brother watch Hannah Montana and another comedy skit, but I can't understand them. When I was a kid, I can't speak or understand English at all. I see. So I look at the TV, don't understand anything. I see. Yeah, this was the same for me with anime when I was younger. Well, there are subtitles, but most of the anime I have seen, well, they didn't have, well, when I was watching a newer episode that hasn't released yet in the sub, I had to watch them in the original without the sub. I didn't understand anything. I just kind of like went with the vibe of it and kind of tried to understand it from my brain. This is what I did most of the time. Well, it somehow kind of developed a, you could say, sixth sense. Even though I don't understand what they are saying, I kind of read it from the vibe then. So yeah, that was something. So yeah, we are kind of, we are using this, cover, at least the road, and then it's done. The mineshaft. I can understand Hagemaru since the air, that series with dub of my native language, Malay. I see. So you are from Malaysia, Siaki? Siaki? Yeah, I see. Well, I've once looked down Malaysia. Well, I don't really know what to say. If I remember correctly from the pictures I've seen, it was quite a beautiful place. I've never been there though, so no idea. Well, there. Well, I did meet a person once. Not really meet, but when I was younger, I met a person through a game that was also from Malaysia. So that was the time, I think, the first time I've heard about Malaysia. If you know the game, it's called Omnioji. But yeah. Yeah, no problem. It's a pretty place, but hectic. I see. Well, I don't really know much about Malaysia. So yeah. Well, it must be a warm place then, if it's in Asia. This is at least the basic thing I at least know. I think all Asian countries have quite warm. At least those that I know of and visited. Well, I still remember that you definitely need air conditioning. Well, or at least a fan. That's the thing that I think everyone has, at least in the household, a fan. We never have winter around here, but in December at least there's a lot of rain, so it's not crazy. I see. Yeah. Well, I've heard about places that didn't have winter, but I didn't know that Malaysia was one of them. So that's interesting. Rest of the month is like 35, 38. December is around 20 degree. I see. Around 30 degree. I see. Well, then at least December is, well, at least not too hot then. So that's something, at least. But yeah, 35 and 38 is quite hot. Well, I once, with my parents on vacation, I went to a place that had 40 degrees outside, and at that time it was really hot. Well, if I remember correctly, when I was in China, there also was once 40 degrees. So I can, well, understand how hot it is with 35 and 38. I still remember it. I always had to eat ice cream at least outside once. Well, or drink, well, juice. So I'm not going down there. Yeah, we are shot with sweats. Yeah, I can imagine that. That's why people really want to work in office now. For aircon. Yeah, I can see that. Well, but at least the clothes, I think, in hot countries are made for, well, are made to be much cooler than the clothes usually. At least this is what it was like in China, because the clothes there are quite different in material than the clothes were in Austria. Yeah, in China I also had a lot where the air condition was, well, always on. Or we also always went on places that had air condition, and only at night we went outside. On day, at least, yeah. That was the day, well, when I'm visiting relatives in China. Stayed at home all day, and then when it was night, it was cool, and then went outside. So yeah, I think in those places, the nightlife is the most lively time then. Well, at least in China it was like that. I don't really know in Malaysia if it's also like this. Night is the best moment to go outside, and the town is also very lively. I spend time with my friends at night most of the time. I see. So it's also like this in Malaysia. Yeah, I also went most of the time only at night. The day is too hot. I still remember. Well, it has been, well, 6 years since I last visited, well, China to see relatives there. Well, I think I will go next year visiting, or the next year after. Definitely, because it's been quite a while. Well, the reason why I haven't visited any relatives that late is, well, is because after we went back to Austria, COVID started, we had to go on lockdown and wasn't able to visit. Then other stuff came up, so never had the chance again. Oh, nice. Have fun. Thanks. Yeah. But I have to see. Yeah, 2020 was quite something. Yeah. I still remember. Well, if I had to say, I didn't really have, well, the only thing that suffered during the 2020 lockdown are my grades. That was the only thing. But other than that, luckily, well, I managed to graduate safely. Lol, yeah. Well, during lockdown, we had, well, live streams of the lessons. Because of that, I don't think many were listening to the teacher. Not only that, but even though the cameras had to be on, we could always have, well, the teacher wouldn't know that we had a phone on our hands or anything like this. So yeah, this is why my grades suffered. Well, but the good thing is there were, because of the lockdown, many people know that it was hard to learn, so we got, well, there were some special rules for those that suffered from Alright, we are back again, I think. Wait. Stream is buffering? Yeah. Oh no. I think we are back. Let's see. Yep, welcome back. Wait, thanks, Yaki. Yeah. I think that's a sign. We will just use all the Polish deep state and then stop for today. I don't really know why that's happening. Yeah, I hope it didn't, well, didn't disconnect it. Well, I wonder what was the last conversation you heard. I hope it's okay now. Yeah, I hope so too, Siaki. I hope so too. Let's see. No, it was about the grades. I see. Thanks for the info, Siaki. So yeah, the grades. Yeah, not really. Well, I couldn't concentrate. But I think that's just the usual. That's why, yeah. You shouldn't do that, but you also couldn't stop it. Well, another thing was that, well, for me at least, the lessons were, well, we had much fewer lessons than usual. Only 1 hour a week. Not 1 hour a week. That would be too few. I mean, one lesson in one subject in one day, kind of. Sometimes 2 or 3, but usually it was much fewer than the usual amount. Usually you would have a lesson, a 7 or 8 hour lesson, I think. 1 hour for each subject. And yeah, that should have been the usual, but because of the lockdowns, it got quite a few. So it wasn't really like this anymore. And yeah, that was something. You're seeing, the stream should be stable, I hope. I think I need to change my stream connection maybe. I have to experiment, it seems like. I don't really know why that's happening. But yeah. So yeah, I think the roof will be in copper, but the rest in Polish deep state. So yeah, I decided, well, a vanilla world to play because, well, I don't want this progress to be, well, lost. Well, now we have some iron, so let's use the iron pickaxe. And we can later craft some more. As for the nether, the nether portal, we will use it in the next stream. No idea when the next stream is about Minecraft, but yeah. Let's see. Just a check, a double check. Yeah, should be fine. I hope so, at least. Let's see. So I think that's mostly it about the lockdown and the grades. So yeah, I was really lucky to be able to graduate and not, well, repeat the year. That would have been something. Well, later on I will, on my free time, I decided I will get into playing Pro Sekai again, because apparently it's the 4th anniversary. So I want to log in and see. I don't know why, but yeah, Proiseka is a game that I just start playing it, then stop again, start playing it. Just like the other gacha games. So yeah. Lockdown is not funny, though I didn't get COVID. Some of my family members did pass away because of it. I see. Yeah, my condolences for that, Chibi. It must have hurt. Yeah, definitely must have been quite a, well, dark time. So I hope you are alright now. Yeah. I also, well, I still remember, well, yeah. Yeah, 2 of my aunts, but I'm alright now. I see. Well, that's good then. But yeah, I know how much it hurts to lose a family member. So it must have been quite a hard time doing that. So yeah, but it's good that you're doing alright now. So I think that, yeah, we have to sleep. It's quite dark. Yeah. Well, I have heard an interesting fact about the lockdown. That it's, well, it's kind of like something that happens every 100 years. Something I learned, at least from, well, during that time. That there every 100 years there will be a disease that is dangerous or something like this. And yeah, and during, well, and COVID was one of that disease. It's one what I learned at least, or what I found out. Not really. No, I don't really know if it's true though. So I think we will smelt the copper. Well, we'll play a bit longer, and yeah. Hope the copper is there. I remember Ebola. Yeah, I think that's also, or maybe that's not even 100 years. Well, I can look it up when the Ebola disease was. Yeah, that was 1976, so it wasn't 100 years. So yeah. Well, it seems like maybe it was not that every 100 years thing. Interesting fact. Yeah. I didn't know it myself, but have heard about it. Wait. So I think the blocks, let's see. Yeah, I think I will use this one for by one line at least. So yeah, the top will be made of copper. So yeah. Well, I'm currently thinking of conversations or things to talk about. Wait, maybe like this. Yeah, another layer. So yeah, about the schedule I could talk. Well, next week, a lot of them will be for my time at least in 8 p.m. or the first two at least, because well, I have to see about the time during that, and yeah. Well, but yeah, we will play Digimon Time Rangers back to back. Well, I have to say it's a really good game, so this is why we are playing it, and I want to know the story. Well, I don't really know why it is always Twitch that kind of stops, because YouTube is kind of, well, I think it has never, well, only when the connection got lost. Wait, that was the wrong thing. Did you use Restream? Well, not really. I didn't really do anything. I just waited till, well, till the stream was back on. It kind of does it automatically, so yeah. It's kind of like this mostly. Because OBS sometimes do be crazy. They love disconnected you. Well, it could be. Well, I currently, for my Twitch, I use a plugin. So maybe I should change it. Well, yeah. So I use a plugin to multi-stream, and this is, well, maybe it's because of the plugin, but I have to see. Well, I think for the next stream I will change it, maybe to that the main stream option is Twitch. And then let's see if it will disconnect. Was it only Twitch? Then maybe it's Twitch server. Well, could be. Because YouTube was completely fine, if I remember correctly. But we can try it. Well, I will make the main connection Twitch and see if this works instead. If this works and YouTube is alright, then yeah. Well, we are making a lot of progress. Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm quite curious about the, well, spawn we have in the nether, so let's see. Okay. It looks quite safe. So there's something to do. Yeah, I also think I need seeds, so... There, we have the first seed. I now need to make a hole. Let's see. There are sticks. Since there's nothing to talk about, what do you think about the overall of Amphorius? Do you like it? Any regrets? What you wish it would have been better? Well, that's a great subject, Sergei. So yeah, Amphorius. Well, I think it would have been better if they... Well, I don't really know if it's me, but I think there was a bit of lack of conversation, kind of. Or maybe... How should I say it? We didn't really learn. Well, we learned a lot about Forest itself, but relationship-wise, the Trailblazer, I don't really know if they had really made any friends there, because well, we somehow became the Deliverer. Well, the only instance I can think of is maybe the Midday one. I don't really think we had much to talk with Midday, or we didn't really establish any friendship kind of thing. Most we have just seen, well, talked about things. Well, there wasn't much of a relationship between, or friendship between Trailblazer and the cast of Amphorius. Would have been nice if we had some kind of, well, event or side quest, kind of like, I don't think they do that anymore, but previously there were some purple quests, like one-on-one character quests with the characters, and I think it was with Pela or Serval. They had some kind of, well, one-on-one quests. You could talk to them, give them advice, and something like this. Yeah. Mide was the weakest one, I agree. He was there fighting final and then goes away to fight the Black Tides. Yeah. This is why the thing, Amphorius, the story overall was great. I liked a lot of things, but I think it lacked a bit of, you could say, relationship development. Like we didn't, well, kind of establish any kind of friendships. I would have wished that, yeah, that were side quests about making friends, about personally helping them with something like this. But yeah. The way they present the story could be better, like shorten the paths where we walk around, or the puzzle places, but build more relation between characters. Then again, there's 12 of them. It's tough. Yeah. Well, they could. I think they did it with the Freestar character, not Freestar. The characters in Genshin. I did. I think every character had like this kind of side quests, and so yeah, you had to help them with something. So yeah, this is this is something they could have done, but yeah. The relationship part was the weakest one, if I had to say. But to be fair, in Penakuni they also didn't have that. I feel like Anaxa just hate the Trailblazer. Yeah, could be. I don't see them talking to each other. Now that you say that, I don't think they have any kind of conversation. I would have, yeah, this is something that was missing from Amphorius, but the overall story, like Iron Tomb, the plot twist, those were great. But yeah, there was, well, it was a good story, but not a perfect one. Well, this is how I would describe it, though. I'm satisfied with the Cyrene story, and the last patch is a masterpiece to me. Yeah. Cyrene, we most probably had a lot of development with her because, well, she was also mem, so she accompanied us with the journey and everything. So yeah. I think we need more wood. So yeah, I don't really know why they decided to take away the, well, the character quest, the side quest kind of, the purple quest, where you are having a one-on-one with the characters, learning about them and so on. But yeah. And the final patch where they tell us he had to work all the circuits, it was 3.6, right? That is so good. Yeah. Yeah, that is also a good one. And I really love the plot twist and how the other final, the one with the cracked eye, the broken one, you could say, I forgot the name. I think it was Flame Reaver. So yeah, the reveal of that and the cutscene of everything like that, that was really great. This is something I still remember. Yeah, those were good. Well, I did hear that, well, 4.0, I think they want the companion quest to be inside the main story. Do you remember the story of Aventrine? It could be a companion quest, not a main, but because people complain the main story is long, they have to shorten it. Yeah. I think they did kind of mix it together. So yeah, the, companion quest, that was the name that, yeah. I think some companion quests would have been much better. For example, in Amphorius, I still remember the Hyceline one. If you know, we somehow, when we were in the main story, we somehow had to go through Hyceline's past and everything. I think that could have been a companion quest instead. Because that kind of, well, honestly speaking, that quest kind of annoyed that scene and everything. Kind of, well, yeah. It was kind of a bit too much for me because the quest itself was already quite long and now getting backstory that, well, that wouldn't have fit into the story flow that we were on. Yeah, that was, yeah, something. And then you have to listen to the DJ Xander. Yeah. That was, yeah. I think the Hyceline quest was the one, well, the main quest where Hyceline's backstory was explained. That was something I think that, well, should have been a companion quest instead. Because we didn't have to know, well, we had to walk through it through the main quest. And yeah. Would have rather been a companion quest, honestly speaking. Because it only showed her backstory and not really showed us was anywhere relevant to the story at that time, I think. Only, well, the only relevance is that it was Hyceline, we were going to Hyceline, but that was it. But yeah, Amphorius had quite a few flaws, but overall it was good. But yeah, I think Xander, we will see quite a lot of it. Maybe not from Lygus, but wait, maybe we will see him because we didn't see any death and so on. But yeah, maybe we will not see much from. Well, I think Xander will become a character that will be, well, somehow important to the other stories, maybe. But we'll have to see. Top tier story, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for, well, 4.0. I did hear the leaks about it. I don't know if it's, well, it's a bit of a spoiler, but the masked fools will be, I think they will be relevant to the main story of 4.0. But I don't really know how far, well, if it will be though, because apparently the patch might be delayed. I heard that too, yeah. So yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to. I've been waiting for the Sampo 5-star for a long time. And I wonder what it will look like. So yeah. Well, as for the Sparkle one, I will have to see how it looks. Apparently it's, yeah, just a school uniform. I think after the main story missed the bubbles on the train where Rappa and Butte talking to each other. Is like a hint for the next word? Oh, I think I missed that then. I don't remember it. Well, seems like the, well, I forgot the faction name. Well, the one Bootail and Rapper are from. Yeah. Seems like they will also have some kind of relevancy then. Oh, they are Galaxy Rangers. Ah, that's the name. Yeah, that was what I was looking for. Yeah, I'm excited to see them. what will happen. Well, I have to say, Rapper, her backstory was kind of interesting. I think she was some kind of she was in some kind of lab and escaped. If I remember, it's been a while. But yeah, will be interesting to see. I'm somehow expecting that Dr. Primitive will be part of it. So yeah, I think he will be somehow in the story. If not Dr. Primitive, the one with the monkey and banana obsession. I kind of can see it. But yeah, let's see. So yeah, I'm excited for it. And I've been saving up. I have no idea which characters will appear and so on. But I heard there will be a character that will look like Anaxa. I don't really know if it's true though. Because it seems like Anaxa is his own person. And, well, I thought he might be receiving ISB. Yeah. Dr. Primitive is doing a superhuman experiment on Chills, and Rapper is one of them, and one the lab workers inside the ninja virus in her head, I see, to make her get through all the pains. She is supposed to be a genius as well, I see. Yeah, this was the story, I think. Now that you say it, I kind of remember the glimpses of it. But yeah, I think Dr. Primitive will be somehow important. Well, as a boot hill, I don't really know if the Oswaldo guy will be somewhere in the story. That I don't know. But yeah, will be interesting to see. Yeah, we're waiting. Well, if you're wondering, the firefly bushes, when night, then fireflies appear. So let's put some on. Dr. Primitive believes that humans should go back to monkey. Yeah. Yeah, that's quite funny. And I think I remember that. Yeah, I think there's a, well, artifact about something about him too. So he was quite, not spoiled, but kind of hinted at a lot. And he also appeared at, well, Amphorius, when Herta gave the call. So yeah. Will be interesting to see. Well, as you can see, these little sparkles are fireflies. Even though we were only to see a little bit. Pretty? Yeah. Well, originally the fireflies should have been their own mobs, but the problem was the frogs should have eaten them. And there was the problem, the frogs, well, the eating mechanic of the frogs in Minecraft would have crashed the game, because then they would have eaten the other animals too. Like the sheep, the cows, and even us players. And that would have been, well, it would have crashed the game. This is why the fireflies were removed as mobs and instead implemented as bushes. Well, this at least from what I've heard. And yeah. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Because, well, I need to think of new conversation themes. Well, I have to say, this is one of the challenges of streaming. I have to think of conversations, and yeah. Next time I think I should write everything down and then, well, talk about it. Well, I think my voice is also nearly giving up, so yeah. Don't worry about it, you can play and enjoy the chill vibes. Well, thanks, Yakiwi. Well, thank you for your understanding and always being so nice to me. So yeah, thank you. Well then, I think that's it for today. So yeah, thank you for listening, and yeah, see you all maybe on Monday or Thursday. So again, take care, thanks. Now then, bye!